Hello, welcome everybody to the webinar, What's New in AutoCAD 22. My name is Thomas. I work as a senior technical support specialist for Autodesk, and I'm doing the presentation today with my colleague Volker Kocko. And we are very excited to share with you today some new, really handy functionality. We will try not to jump so much between the slide deck and the running AutoCAD application, and so we will bundle a few things together. And that's also why the session today will give you an overview up front in form of some slides, followed by a live demonstration afterwards. And there will be a handover during our presentation in the middle of the demonstration part, and Volker will move on with the presentation. So let's get it on. Now, here's an overview of what we will cover a little bit more in detail. Today, we are going to cover 3 key components of the new 22 release. First, it's CAD automations. What's meant by CAD automations here? We will share how the specialized toolsets speed up work by automating tasks. And second, seamless connections. Now, here we will talk quickly about the AutoCAD web and mobile apps that allow you to connect to drawing files anytime and anywhere from any device. And I think it's also good that we talk about these components as an introduction because they will give you a better understanding of some of our continuous innovations and multi-platform workflows in the third part, the continuous innovations. And there we will describe the new updates of version 22. So let's start with point number 1. CAD automations. What's meant by CAD automations? It's practically anything that helps you with automations in the background to work faster and more efficient. And that can be related to single functions that make you work faster and more efficient. But in this case, and also where the CAD automations are most effective, it's within the AutoCAD toolsets. And we will have a closer look at them now. You see them here on the left side. It's actually all about the right AutoCAD for you. And that can be AutoCAD MEP, AutoCAD Electrical, AutoCAD Architecture, AutoCAD Mechanical, Plant 3D, Map 3D, or the raster design toolset. Now, over the past 20 years, Autodesk has been investing in AutoCAD vertical specialized toolsets. They make you more productive because they come with enhanced industry-specific functionality. And since release 2020, every subscriber of AutoCAD gains access to all the capabilities of the industry-specific toolsets and libraries. At that time, it got introduced as one AutoCAD. So how does the situation look on your side? Are you using the toolsets already? Most probably some of you just use the core AutoCAD even though you work in a specific field which is covered by one of the verticals. Maybe because you just started using AutoCAD or because of the force of habit since you always work like that. So I'm going to give you a rough overview of which options you have with the industry-specific toolsets and what that could mean for you. Here on the right side, we see the plan of a boat, and it's connected with the architectural toolset, the MEP toolset, the electrical toolset, and the mechanical toolset, and things that can be built or designed by these toolsets. If you ever wanted to create such a boat or a building with floor plans, interior, ventilation, circuits, as shown on the right side, of course you can do that, and you can create them with the core AutoCAD and draw the whole building or boat just with single lines and blocks. But I'm telling you, and you probably know this, that is a lot of effort. And you should ask yourself, why doing all this effort? And if you can be more efficient? Why not taking the advantage of AutoCAD MEP, AutoCAD Architecture, AutoCAD Electrical and Mechanical, which add thousands of intelligent industry-specific objects, styles, and features to your applications or to your application. Now, with these verticals, you always have the right tools at hand. And the best thing is you can keep on working in a familiar AutoCAD interface. So it's not only the right AutoCAD for you, as I said at the beginning, it's actually the right AutoCAD for the jobs that needs to be done. And I will show you on the next slides which benefit these CAD automations bring to you and your company, because we ask our customers which productivity gain they get when they use a specialized AutoCAD toolsets. And I will stick with the 4 examples that we used on the previous slide, and we will start with AutoCAD Mechanical. And here our customers describe that they get a 55% overall productivity gain when they work with the mechanical toolset instead of pure AutoCAD. With AutoCAD Architecture, our customers describe that they get a 61% productivity gain. With the electrical toolset, they even describe that they get a 95% overall productivity gain. That number and also the others are very, very impressive. And with the MEP toolset, you are 85% more productive. Imagine what could be accomplished by using these toolsets in your company for every draftsperson that works in the specific industry field. So make your life easier. Just choose the right toolset. It's free anyways when you are already a subscriber of AutoCAD. And maybe you want to become one if you are currently using AutoCAD LT. So If you don't use it yet, just give it a shot and you will see that you and your team have a big chance of working more effectively. And now we come to the second point of the agenda, seamless connections in AutoCAD. And I will show you what that means. Now on the left side, we see AutoCAD Desktop, AutoCAD Web, and AutoCAD Mobile. And when you are an AutoCAD subscriber, you have access to all three applications. And that means you can choose, do I want to work with AutoCAD for Windows, AutoCAD for Mac, AutoCAD for Web, or AutoCAD on a mobile device? And do I want to work with an iPad, an iPhone, Android, or a Windows device? And the nice thing is you can even work with all of them. Yeah, it's up to you. These apps, they enable you to work on any of your drawings on any platform when they are stored in the cloud. And what does that mean? The web and the mobile app, they let you create, edit, design, and draft anytime and anywhere. And these three apps, they work hand in hand. And you can just forget about printed drawings. You don't really need printed drawings anymore to show information in the field and to forward information. Just take your portable device and show it in the field. And also, no need to go back to the office because you forgot the plans or you took the wrong ones and you lose important time for your project. Also for meetings, you can easily cut down communication time and bring design teams together to review and edit CAD drawings in real time wherever you are. And so easily go from drafting on a desktop to drafting on your AutoCAD web and mobile app and vice versa. And wherever you go, you can have peace to have AutoCAD at least in your pocket. Of course, only when you don't forget your mobile phone at home. Yeah, so I will give you a quick overview of the web and the mobile app. When you compare the AutoCAD desktop or AutoCAD desktop to the AutoCAD web app, they look similar. And the difference is that AutoCAD web runs in the browser, and there you get core AutoCAD 2D drafting tools and commands with a simplified interface. So you can get quickly up to speed and be productive with little to no training when you are used to AutoCAD already. You don't have to download anything, and you also don't have to install anything. Just simply visit web.autocad.com, sign in with your Autodesk account, and start working on the drawings stored in the cloud. And with version 22, or together with version 22, you can mark up and share drawings directly in the app, and it's available in the same 14 languages as AutoCAD Desktop. And with the drawing saved in the cloud, all the work that you do in the AutoCAD web app is accessible when you switch devices. Now, why should you switch devices? Maybe you need to go to a construction site right now. And also one of the drawings or one of the devices that you can use in this situation is your mobile phone or tablet. And of course, for these devices, we have the mobile app. And when you look at the mobile app, the functionality is the same. It just looks a little bit different, which is understandable since you use your hand to navigate and not your mouse. And in comparison with the web app, it comes with extra functionalities. The mobile app lets you work anywhere, even offline. And it also provides mobile-only tools that let you, for example, add laser measurements to your drawings and also site photos to your plans. And one thing they all have in common is cloud storage connectivity, where you can connect seamlessly across platforms. And that's what we are seeing here. Last year, we announced a partnership with Google Drive. And that means now we have 4 of the biggest storage providers that you can add to AutoCAD. That is Box, that is Dropbox, OneDrive, and Google Drive. And the benefits, they are clearly invisible. And you have access to your most up-to-date version of your drawings from anywhere. And we have great news. There's even more value for active 22 subscribers. Now, this year, we added the connection to Autodesk Drive and Autodesk Docs to the AutoCAD web app. And for those who haven't come across them yet, both offer cloud storage. Autodesk Drive is available with all subscriptions, and Autodesk Docs is a cloud-based document management and common data environment, and that is available for subscribers of the AEC collection. And with these new integrations, you can take advantage of anytime access to any drawing file with AutoCAD. So now let's focus on the point why you're all here, the new features and enhancements that have been added to AutoCAD 22. They are also available for AutoCAD LT, very important. Let's start with a new trace functionality. In general, trace is an exciting new multi-platform feature to streamline the review process and to enhance collaboration. Just picture a very lightweight trace paper on top of your drawing, and I think that's good shown on the picture here, a little bit in gray. And it helps you to come up with an alternative markup design, so you can let people know, hey, this is kind of what I'm thinking about, or I think this needs to be changed. And except of making changes to the physical drawing, you are drawing something on that very thin trace paper that you put on top of your drawing. And that means you and your collaborators, you can safely mark up drawing files without altering the existing drawing. And it also allows you to open the traces back in AutoCAD, view the feedback in context, and incorporate the changes. And we have the share functionality. And with share, you have the ability to share your content quickly and easily, not just to your online storage location that we saw before, but actually to anybody that you want. And you can share the drawing, you can share the view, and it's a great function to enhance collaboration. And the best thing is you are sending controlled links. Yeah, how did you do that before when you wanted somebody to review a drawing? Yeah, you attached the drawing to an email. You kind of lost control when you forwarded the email, and all you wanted was him or her to review the drawing. Yeah, and now you have controlled links, and these controlled links, and they open directly in the AutoCAD web app. So your team and colleagues can review and edit wherever they are. And with both functions, with trace and share, we have multi-platform workflows that make collaboration more accurate, more secure, and more efficient. Also a nice function here, the third one, the count function. And it opens a tool palette, and it's actually counting all the entities, all the blocks in your drawing. Now, I know that was a very tricky thing in the past, especially for LT users. And now this function, as also the other functions, is available for LT. Count is a great new feature that lets you save time with counting the elements or the blocks, and it automatically helps you to find some errors in your drawing. And I will show you this, of course, also later. Push to Autodesk Docs. As I said, Autodesk Docs is a unified cloud platform for the AEC industry, which is included in the AEC collection. With Push to Docs, you have a function to push a drawing file directly out of your Autodesk Docs site to whatever subfolder and to whatever project you want. And it pushes it out as a PDF file. So you no longer have to save PDFs locally, open a web browser, and upload the sheets in the cloud. Instead of taking 3 or 4 steps, you only have to take 1 step, so it improves efficiency and reduces mistakes. Also, floating window. Nice functionality. We had a couple of requests in the past from customers who wanted a way to view and edit multiple drawings at the same time in a single instance of AutoCAD. That's basically what the function does. You can take your CAD drawing and pull them out with grabbing the drawing tab, and you can view them as a fully functional window. So you can not only view, but edit multiple drawings side by side on multiple monitors in the same instance of AutoCAD. I know that's a little bit tricky to show today since we only share one screen here, but I think you will get a pretty good idea of how it's looking and what is actually possible. We also have other enhancements. AutoCAD has updated the installation and made it a little bit more customizable. Now, this will not be covered today, since you can imagine we already installed 22 before our presentation, but I can share not only the installation is much faster, you can already start the application while the program is still installing. And other than that, we have graphic improvements. We have a redesigned startup, which is most noticeable. It's more organized than before and more cleaned up. And we have a much faster PDF publishing in the background. And as I said before, these enhancements are also available for LT. And for example, with Count, that has a very high effect. And also when you're a LT user, don't forget that you have access to the web and the mobile app. And now we come to the live demonstration. I have my AutoCAD 22 application already running in the background, and now I will open it and show you the new enhancements of the 22 version. Okay, here we see the running AutoCAD 22 application. And when we go here, the first thing after we start AutoCAD, the first thing you will notice is the startup itself. The startup itself is nothing new. It has been part of AutoCAD since many releases, but the overall composition of the startup has been redefined here quite a bit in the 22 release. And now it follows a consistent design across all Autodesk products. You can separate it in 3 sections. We have here the left side, the middle part, and the right side, and we will have a closer look at it now. Of course, you can open a drawing. You can say open files, and you can browse. You can directly browse to example files, but you can also create a new drawing. You can press new. A new drawing will directly be created based on the standard template, and you can also create a drawing based on other templates. You can browse to your DWT template files, and once you add a separate one as a foundation, as a basis, it will be added to the list so that you always have a shortcut list of the templates that you used in the past. Here on the right side, you can see a preview of the drawings that you opened recently. Either on this icon where you see a screenshot as a preview, or you have the list view. Both has a similar or the same functionality, just a different layout. And when you have a closer look here, you can see you can actually pin a drawing to the recent overview so that it's shown all the time on top. You can say you want to open it normally or read only. Let's say you're a CAD manager, then open it read only makes completely sense because you don't want to mess up the drawings that your teammates or colleagues worked on. You have here a nice path where the drawing itself is stored. And you recognize a different icon. Here we have a cloud icon, and this drawing is connected to Autodesk Docs. And here these ones, they are stored locally on the machine or on a server path. And that brings me also to the second part here. We switch from recent tab to the Autodesk Docs tab. And now you are seeing everything that is within your project. We have here now a project open that has no files included, but we can change the content, change the project, for example, to this, see project files, DWG. Now the content is loaded quickly, and you see, oh, there we even have a locked state. And that is a drawing that I have open here right now. This is in a locked state. This only comes with Autodesk Cloud, so nobody else can open it right now. So they're very, very handy also from the overview. We have the Learning tab. And here you see tips and tricks listed here above. You can scroll to the next ones. You have videos about the new features, for example. Online resources, the Hitchhiker's Guide for AutoCAD, and also free learning resources, external learning resources, CAD Learning, and LinkedIn Learning, for example. When we move on down here, these are all links that will open in your browser. What's new? The online help. If you have a technical issue, you can say you want to open the community forum, the AutoCAD community forum. You want to create a case for technical support, or below you can access the mobile app in the App Store to download it or to open the web app directly. And you might have noticed the right part of the screen is not shown anymore, and that is the case because it is only visible in recent. You see the announcement, and you can close them with clicking on the orange button or on the X on the right side, and here you see some announcements. As the name says, you see who is logged in to the current instance of AutoCAD, and you can also send some feedback to help us improve the product. And moving forward, we will switch to one of our drawings. And the first function that I would like to show you is the floating tab. So as I said, I have already a couple of drawings open inside AutoCAD. And I mean, having these tabs, that is quite common in the last releases in AutoCAD. But as multiple monitors have become a big part of folks' everyday workflows, I want to show you some extra real estate that we have, because we have certainly been able to open multiple sessions of AutoCAD in the past, and that is certainly something we can continue doing with the 22 release. But now with 22, we can drag the tabs out, and they become a new separate window. And you see, when I switch it back, it becomes blue. When I switch it out, it's a separate window. You can take it, you can resize it, you can move it, just shift it around. And that is a very nice functionality. And the benefit is here that you can have multiple drawings open in a single session of AutoCAD, which is typically a little bit better performing than using multiple sessions of AutoCAD. One thing that you would like to know maybe is that the ribbon always stays in the main application. So if I move, for example, this window to my second screen, it will not be connected to the ribbon. You can still use the functions from the ribbon, but they are not directly visible next to the floating window. If you want to have the ribbon straight next to your floating window, you should leave it here and drag another drawing out and move it to the other screen. But nevertheless, what I definitely can recommend is, and I will show you this here, you always can use a dynamic input. So for example, rectangle, it's always visible what you are doing. Of course, you can also insert it here, but then you might have to switch with your mouse to a different screen if the main application is located on another screen. Okay. So now we come to the count functionality. And for the count functionality, I would like to switch to my drawing here now. End users, they have been looking for that for quite a while. And pretty much counts any selected object in AutoCAD. And you find that under View, and under View, we have the count functionality. You see it opens here as a new separate window, and it gives you a list of all blocks that are available within your drawing. It's docked now on the right side, but you can also make it float. And it's not only a list. I mean, the list is quite complete because we can compare it with all the blocks that we also see, for example, within the rename function. So all the blocks, also the nested blocks, are shown here. But we see here it has more than that. It's definitely more than that. So we see a live count of all the blocks that are within this drawing. And it actually takes the old bcount command that was used in AutoCAD before, but bcount didn't even show the nested blocks. So that's a big improvement for all the blocks within your drawing. And I would like to show you that we have a live count here. What I'm doing is I will take a phone, and the phone is here. FNP phone is 51 currently. When we take the phone, copy it, paste it on another location, 51 changes to 52, changes to 53, changes to 54. And when we delete it again, of course, the number goes back to 51. So what I really appreciate is the functionality that is connected to this function too, next to counting the objects, because we see here the drawings. The drawings tell us that something is not correct within these objects. And I will make you aware of what that could be. For example, when we stay with the FN phone. So I take that object. We have currently 51. I would say explode. And now we have an FN phone, and that is getting an error message. And what I can do right now is, and what you can always do, you can press and select the row, and it always describes what you are currently selecting. But when you have a warning, it shows you also in red what is not correct or which object is possibly not correct. And when you switch this warning, you see that is actually an exploded block, right? So we can go back, remove the explode so that it becomes part of the objects again, as it was before. And we will have a look at this 36-inch door right now. What is a 36-inch door? We again get an overview of all the objects, all the 36, inch doors in this drawing. And here we have some that shows a little bit in red, and we would like to know what's going on here. So I select, and it tells me that is actually an overlapping object. And we can see the same thing when we select that object. Properties. It tells us right here we have two block references, even with the same name, DR6036. And when I select or deselect them right now, I select the top one, press delete, the object becomes green. We can switch back to the list, and now the issue is solved. Imagine how long this door was double in that drawing. Imagine somebody used in the past the bcount command and just exported the number of doors in that drawing. If somebody found out that it's not correct, imagine how long it would have taken until you figure out that there is the issue on that door and that we had two above each other. So I really think this is a really great improvement also in finding errors. And when we go back, for example, to the FN phone, we can say, okay, we stay here in this example. And another nice functionality is we right-click it and we say we can insert the count field. That is the 51 that we see on the right side of our window, and we can insert it here. And it always gives us the current number of telephones that we see. It's an M text, and that means we can also change it. So the drawing contains 51 phones. Perfect. Again, we can copy it, we can paste it. We say region, and we see the 52. So it's really nice. You can use these objects to count elements or blocks in your drawing. It's not only available in model space, it's also available in paper space. Of course, I can do the same thing now in paper space, but that is not so spectacular since you saw this already. So in paper space, I would like to show you something differently. So I make a little bit space because we can't only insert single fields, we can also insert a table. And now we can choose which counts, which objects we want to be part of that table. So I want to focus on everything that is connected to a desk, FN phone, IBM art, keyboard, these things. I can put it in here, but now I want to scale it. It's definitely a little bit too big for me and for the situation. So we say, okay, let's scale it here. And now I will move it on the right side. Okay, so we have the chairs. For example, we can rename it, and everything is still a live count. So when I go back to my main drawing, to the model space, I say we have 52 right now, and I think that was a number that was also shown here. 52 phones. I delete this phone again. I switch back to my layout. I see 51 phones. And that is a really, really, really nice function to export also which components you have in a drawing. You don't have to count it manually. It is always a live count, and you can always export it also to a PDF file if you want to forward this information. And you don't have to use extra time on top to find out this information. Yeah, very nice functionality. And as I said also in the presentation, available for LT users, which is a really, really big benefit. So now I want to show you the share functionality. Okay, share functionality. Yeah, with some of the new features that we find within this year's release, yeah, over the past year, it has certainly been no secret that the world has become a little bit more digitized. Yeah, you might say out of necessity but beyond that, digital collaboration has certainly become more important than ever before. And if we kind of turn back the hands of time of AutoCAD, we have seen a lot of features in the recent year around this kind of common objective of digitizing the way that we collaborate. Yeah. So I want to show you that this functionality is a great way to share the drawing with other people. So I say, I want to share this drawing with a colleague. I want this colleague only to view the drawing. So I can copy the link and put it in an email or directly open my browser. That is currently not running in the background, so I have to move it here to the screen. After a few seconds, we will sign in. Now, this will happen automatically. And after this happens, then we will see that all the functions that you normally have to create objects, to edit objects, they are grayed out. So whoever gets this link has access to it for 7 days. It's a controlled link, but he can't edit. He can just copy. So you see, this is the same drawing. It has even our 52 phones included. And the functions here, it says the tooltip editing not available because we said the person who gets this link is only able to view it.
Trace is a markup tool which can be used to create markups in the field and then add those changes on the desktop app. Markups or traces can be done using the AutoCAD web app as well as the AutoCAD mobile app. You can think of a trace as an overlay, and with other markup applications, you may have a raster markup overlay in your AutoCAD drawing. With trace, it's a little bit different. Think of it more as an XREF overlay because the markups themselves are nothing more than AutoCAD power, using line work, using arcs, circles, polylines, blocks, text, all AutoCAD tools to create your markups. So for this demonstration, if I'm going to open up my trace floor plan sample, and having opened that, you'll see we have a new icon here, new feature called Traces. I'm going to click on New Trace, and you'll see we have a highlight of our drawing editor. And basically, this indicates that we're in a trace environment. We also have a trace indicator here. I'm going to rename this, call it Markup 1. Just put my initials there. And I think what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and create a layer to have my markup stand out. So again, Markup 1 BC, just to give it a name. And let's go ahead and give it a color as well. So now I'm going to go over to the annotate and select a revision cloud. And oops, you know what? I should actually make this layer current. There it is. Let's try this again. There we go, much better. So that's all I really want to do there. I'm going to complete this trace, and that object disappears. It is a part of the trace itself. If we take a look at our layer list, you'll see we don't have a markup layer here anymore either. That's because the layer is specific to the trace as well. The reason I showed this in the Layout tab is to let you know that traces are specific to the environment they were created in. If we go to the Model tab, I'll go ahead and create another new trace. Let's call this one here Markup 2. Yeah, sounds reasonable. I'm going to go ahead and create another layer. Call this Markup 2. You see? And let's give this a different color. Having done that and making this layer current, and again, we're only going to see the layer specific to this trace, I can use standard markup or standard AutoCAD functions to mark up the drawing. And I'll go ahead and just pick a point here. And let's go ahead and put in a note like increase length by 3 foot. Click OK. And, just for grins, I could draw some line work here, put in some more text, but this is what's kind of cool. I'm going to go ahead and insert one of the blocks available in this drawing. Let's go ahead and rotate that. Oops, by 90. Plop that in here, and I think you get the idea. I'm going to go ahead and click on this, done, and it disappears. So let's go ahead and save the drawing. And having saved it, I'm now going to go ahead and, might as well close it. Let's go to the Autodesk desktop app. So here I am. I know I've got markups waiting. I'm going to switch over to the Collaborate tab. And there's a new toggle here for traces. And obviously there are no traces in this drawing, but we can access that command there. I'm going to use the Open from Web and Mobile. And I'm going to select Trace Floor Plan Drawing. Now typically, because this does contain traces, I would see a notification if you're in the lower right-hand corner. That's not the case because I created the traces, so using my Autodesk account. And because I created it, I don't really need to notify myself that I have traces. But there's an indicator down here in the lower right-hand corner telling me there are traces. And by clicking on that, it also brings up the traces palette. So let's see, note that we're in the model layout right here. If I click on Markup 1, it automatically switches it to the rev cloud that I've placed here. Switch to Markup 2. And here I could now make the changes appropriately. So I might want to get rid of this desk here, getting out of the trace environment. But let's say I'm having a hard time seeing all this stuff, right? What I can do is click on this toggle right here to bring the trace to the front. So knowing what I need to do here, I'll click OK to close the trace. I'll increase the length here by 3 feet, add that block, and once I'm done, I can go ahead and delete the traces that were placed in there or leave them. That is all up to the user. Let's take a look at one more thing. A colleague of mine has been working on a markup out in the field, and I want to see what changes need to be made. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this assembly drawing. And again, because this was modified, the traces were added by Chris, I now have a bubble showing up here telling me that there are traces. Had this palette been closed, I could quickly open it and then see what changes need to be made to this specific drawing. Some things to note: traces, drawings that contain traces, those traces are only going to be viewable in AutoCAD 2022. With AutoCAD 2022, there were several features added to improve the workflow between AutoCAD and other Autodesk products. One of these is Push to Docs. Push to Docs is a collaboration tool found under the Collaborate tab of panel of the ribbon. And not only is this available in AutoCAD 2022, but you can download a plugin for AutoCAD 2018 through 2021 from the Autodesk App Store. So in the past, it's taken many steps to publish a PDF to your BIM 360 project or Autodesk Docs. With this new tool, we can just push a button to publish our sheets as PDFs to our project. By default, all the sheets in the drawing are selected in the palette. We can add additional sheets, remove sheets, or load a sheet list that has been selected. And of course, we can save a sheet list. Once selected, we can quickly upload those sheets by clicking on the Upload button, selecting the project from the Select Project folder prompt, and then clicking OK. Push to Docs is now uploading these sheets to my project. By clicking on the hyperlink, a web browser opens up to my project folder, and uploads those sheets. We have a lot of information here. Obviously, the version number of the sheet, who updated it, when it was last updated. If I select the version here, I can easily compare the changes made. So if I click compare, it's going to select the last two versions that I uploaded. But I could say, all right, I want to compare the third one with the first one. I'll click compare. I'll select the compare button here. And then we can compare the changes made to the document. Right now, we're seeing the major change to this is that I've added the pool to the drawing. Selecting this icon here, I can see the entire change made or how it was in the original version. So that's pretty cool stuff. We also have markup tools that we can use to add changes if we would like to. Going back to AutoCAD, let's say I'm working in this particular project here, but I realize, I have not uploaded a sheet set that I worked on earlier today. So what I'm going to do is click OK here, and I'll go to my desktop where I have my other set, which has some additional sheets that I need to publish to that project. So while I'm working in one drawing, I can easily upload and publish this new sheet set of PDFs to my project.